Have you been feeling unmotivated, down, depressed, and anxious? Well, you clicked on the right video. In this video, I'm going to give you some potential reasons why you may feel anxious, depressed, unmotivated, down. And I'm going to give you some ways where you can be successful and start to feel better. By the way, if you're new to this channel, my name is Raheem the Goat. I make content to help people improve their mental health, success, relationships, careers, fitness, finances, and all that stuff. So if you find this content helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into it. So a lot of the time, I can't speak today. A lot of the time, you may feel very just lethargic, sleepy. You may even feel anxious, nervous, and just unmotivated to do the important things in life that will make you successful. What do you want to do with your life? You have to ask yourself that question first. What do you want to do with your life? And if you don't really know what you want to do with your life, I really suggest that you meditate and do some introspection and journal about the things that you want, and just ask yourself, what do you want to do with your life? And what do you want out of life and stuff? And I would also suggest that you remove all distractions that could be holding you back from figuring out who you are. Because you have to realize that majority of the ideas that you have, or the thoughts, they're not really your thoughts. Most of these thoughts are, coming from Twitter and Instagram and, social media, or what somebody else told you. Because you have to think about it. Even if, like, when somebody's saying something, even if you don't consciously remember it, it's going into your subconscious, and you're feeding your subconscious things. You have to remember the saying, you are what you eat. And the same is what the same is true for what you consume. The things that you hear, the things that you read. You have to be careful with a lot of that stuff. Because a lot of times it's just a lot of things that are affecting you, and they're affecting you whether you realize it or not. So one of the most important things you have to do, if you're feeling down, depressed, anxious, is that you need to remove all of the bad habits that cause you to feel that way, such as drinking alcohol, smoking weed, watching porn, scrolling on social media. These are all things that negatively impact your mental health in the long run. All these things that you're feeling are symptoms of poor mental health, which means that you need to take the necessary steps to improve your mental health. So a lot of things that you can do to improve your mental health is, like I said before, you need to do first of all, you have to do introspection. You have to figure out who you are and what you want out of life. And then there's a lot of things you can do to just naturally improve your mental health. First of all, your diet needs to be on point. You need to make sure that you're getting all the vitamins that you need. You need to be getting sunlight and nature, and make sure you're eating right. Like, if you're feeling this way, you might want to, it will probably be best for you to stay away from fast food and any type of junk food, because all that does, it has chemicals in it that affects your mood, and it can actually make you feel worse. It can actually make you feel more neurotic or more anxious, more depressed, more unmotivated. When you do these things, you are stealing pleasure from your future self. A lot of these things are instant gratification activities. So, you need to indulge in some delayed gratification in order to in order to fix the balance of your pain and pleasure. And if you want me to go more in detail with this, I made another video, my most recent video, made another video on this topic, so you can check it out. I'll have a link to it. I have a link to it down in the description or right here or whatever. I'll have it so you can click on it and go look that up. But I feel that we have to look at the deeper reason why you feel however you feel, and that could be because you don't really like the position that you are in right now in your life. You probably feel that you could be doing better. A lot of times when you don't feel happy or you just feel really complacent, it's really because you're too comfortable. And I feel like sometimes it's just better to get out there and experience some discomfort, experience some pain. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about pain like going to the gym or working a bit harder on something that brings value and purpose to your life. Like not working longer hours at your job or something like that. I mean like actually doing something that's going to benefit you in the long run. So I mean a lot of this is really just introspection. But if you spend all your time in the house playing video games, it may be fun to play those video games, but it's really not good for you in terms of finding true happiness and peace within yourself. All you're doing is essentially like you're delaying your happiness. So it's like when you play the video game or you're watching Netflix or you're watching anime, you're feeling pleasurable. You're feeling good while you're doing it. But then when you stop doing it, you feel empty because you have to go back to your reality that you don't like. So what you have to do is start doing things that will ultimately improve your reality and make your life better. And then when you make your life better and you put you're putting work in and you're doing the things you need to do, then you can come back down and you can drink a glass of wine at night, or you can play a few hours of the video game, which you have to be careful with that because a lot of this stuff is messing with your dopamine levels, which can cause you to feel it can really complicate things. So another reason, reason you can feel anxious, there's a couple of reasons that will make you feel like really anxious. One is alcohol. Alcohol can definitely bring about anxiety and depression for sure. And scrolling on social media, I feel like that can really bring about your anxiety because you're really frying your attention span. You're making your attention span. You're basically giving yourself the attention span of a goldfish when you're constantly scrolling on social media, because your brain is processing new information like every 2 seconds. And when you do that, you're literally training your brain to only be able to hold information for 2 seconds. So it's not going to be good for you when you're talking to people and you're out in social situations. You know, have you noticed that your mind is just constantly just going and, you know, on and on and on, and you just can't. That's literally because of the way you're distracting yourself with social media. So what I would honestly recommend, if you're having that issue, is to take some time away from social media, at least like a day or 2 or 3, to see how you feel. That will definitely make you feel a lot better. Try to go out in some nature, you know, get some sunlight, get some peace, and try meditating. Try journaling. Just make sure that you remove all of the bad habits, or at the very least, just drastically reduce those bad habits and try to make progress towards reducing them. But anyways, that's all I got for y'all. I'm gonna make a future video on meditation and why it really helps you to stay present in the moment. And this will help you when you're talking to people, and it'll help you make friends and just become more successful. It translates to every area of your life when you're more present. So I'll be talking about meditation in one of my next videos. But for now, I'll have a link where you can post your email down below, and I'll be sending tips on improving your success, your fitness,